Guys, in this video, I want to talk about how to do digital real estate, how to do rank and rent while having a 9-to-5 job. My name is Nick Wood. I've been doing this for a long time. Back in 2016, I started doing this, and I actually started doing this while I had a full-time job. And it wasn't any full-time job. It wasn't something that you could just sit around and be pondering the eternities and working on stuff. It was a full-time job that required every lick of my attention. So that was back in 2016, and that is when I started, and I did it even despite having that job. So that's what we're going to talk about here in this video. But for those of you that have no idea who I am, like I was saying, I've been doing this a long time. I've lost a lot of money doing this. I've made a lot of mistakes, a ton of mistakes. I almost gave up on this business model twice, and I finally figured it out back in 2020 was the year that I finally took off, and it's been life-changing since. And personally, from doing this model, from renting simple websites to local business owners, I have made millions and millions of dollars. And that, again, that's not from selling a course, it's not from selling tools, it's not from consulting, that's just from renting simple sites. So guys, those of you that are brand new that are wondering, what are we talking about when we say rank and rent, talking about digital real estate? It is the simplest business model on the internet, okay? You pick a city and a niche, okay? You build a website, you rank the website, you rent the website out. That's it. That's it. So let me give you an example. I'm in Dubai, okay, right now as I'm recording this. Let's just say that you want to do, let's just say house cleaning, okay? So niche, house cleaning, city, Dubai. Done. Now I'm going to go build a website. Where do you build a website? Anywhere. Doesn't matter. Wix, Weebly, WordPress. I don't care if you want to code it. It does not matter. You're going to go and build a website. Then you're going to rank the website on Google. How do you rank the website on Google? You use something called search engine optimization. I get into that inside of my program, Digital Landlords. You guys can look videos up on that online if you want some free resources, but you use search engine optimization to get that website to rank to the top of Google. When people in Dubai search for house cleaning, you pop up. And then guess what? As soon as you start to rank, your website starts to get phone calls. You have a tracking number on your phone, on your website, and people start to call your website because people here are looking for house cleaning, right? That's it. And then when those phone calls come in, I'm going to look at the local business owners. I'm going to give them a call. Hey, I've got these leads coming in, Mr. Business Owner. I actually don't have a cleaning business. I just have the website. I have an idea. You take the leads. I'll take the money. Everybody wins. Boom. Beautiful, most beautiful business model on the freaking interwebs, and you get paid every single month. And what do you have? What kind of ongoing work do you have? Well, you got to keep the website ranked, you got to keep the business owner happy, and that's it. But there's certain things and certain ways that you can do this where you don't have to have a lot of upkeep on the website, you don't have to have a lot of upkeep on the business owner, and everybody makes freaking money. So let's get into the topic. How do you actually do this while keeping a 9-to-5? Well, let me answer this first. Can you do it while keeping a 9-to-5, running a 9-to-5? Yes, you can, and I would actually encourage you to do that. Okay. A lot of people just want to quit. A lot of people want to go cold turkey, and that works for some. Some people have the appetite for that. That's fine. Okay. But I would tell you that for a lot of people, that's going to stress you out. A lot of people, that's going to get you feeling desperate. You're going to start, being a little bit sloppy on the calls because you need the deal. So I almost would rather say I encourage you to start doing this while you still have your 9-to-5, and then slowly transition out of it once you start to make the money. Okay, that's just what I would recommend. But we've had so many people, I would say more than 75% of the people that I've worked with inside of my program, by the way, we're almost at 800 people that we've trained inside of Digital Landlords. I would say that over 75% of the people already currently have jobs, okay? The other ones, some of them, let's say they're retired, maybe they have a business, maybe they're a student, whatever the case is, but at least I would say more than 70, again, this is just rough figures, 75% of those people already have 9-to-5s, and they're keeping their 9-to-5s while they're building this. So this is very, very common, okay? Secondly, what I want to tell you is that we have seen some people with some incredible success that have not only kept their job while they built up their business, but they still have their jobs. I'm going to give you an example. Ryan Dalton. If you guys have not researched Ryan Dalton, go into this channel, type in Ryan Dalton, Nick Wood, Ryan Dalton, Digital Landlords. Go and listen to his interview. This guy is somebody who kept his job as an attorney, okay? Has 2 kids, wife, dog, does jujitsu, travels the world, has an amazing life, also has building other projects, and he scaled his business. He literally scaled his business to $87,000 per month while keeping his job. Okay, Insane. Okay, I didn't even do that, not even close. And it took me 4 years to get to those kind of numbers before I was even thinking, 4.5 years before I was even thinking about those kind of numbers. Guys, there's levels to this. That guy is obviously very intelligent, but he's also very, very focused. Okay, so let me give you my experience. When I started this back in 2016, I was working as a door-to-door salesman. Not a typical 9 to 5, it was a commission job, but I will tell you this, that I didn't have a salary, I didn't have a base, I didn't have any of that kind of stuff. I didn't have any floor, I didn't have any guarantees, I didn't have any kind of minimum. It was you eat what you kill. And I started doing this and let me just paint this a little bit better for you guys. My wife was pregnant with our third kid, okay? So second kid. There was that added stress. We just bought another car. We just got into our other house before we moved into this one. There was a lot of added bills that I wasn't used to, and the way this job worked is I would work from, it was April, May, June, July, a little bit of August, 4.5 months, and that amount of money would have to carry me all the way to the next spring when I would start again, because it was a summer job, and that's when, you go on these big blitzes. Basically, you're out for the summer, you make a bunch of money, you keep it all, or you make as much as you can, and then you use it throughout the year. So it comes in gobs, okay? And I tell you that because I couldn't mess this up. I couldn't take my eye off the ball, because this was whatever I made this summer was going to have to carry me for the whole year. The whole year. And by the way, I had already made up my mind that this is my last year I was quitting. So it made no sense in the world for me to start distracting myself with a business, with a side hustle, whatever you want to call it. But I can tell you that within my stomach, I felt I need to do this. I need to start now. I was sick and freaking tired of the job. And I don't know, I just had to start. Even though I had that job. So how the schedule worked is literally at 1 o'clock, we would have a meeting, 1 to 1:30. Then I'd go, we'd grab some food, whatever, from our house, and then we'd all get in our cars and we would drive and drop off our teams in our different neighborhoods. And from 2 until dark, and sometimes even after dark, we'd be knocking doors. So 6, 7, 8 hours per day. Cold calling, knocking on doors. Can you imagine how exhausting, how mentally taxing that is to wake up, have the butterflies, feel sick to your stomach? I'm gonna have to go get rejected all freaking day for 7 hours, okay? So imagine what it feels like coming home, how you just wanna sit in your car with the AC knock in your face and listen to new music, or go watch a Netflix series and just freaking chill and zone out, right? That's what you would wanna do. That's what you should do, probably, okay? And that's not what I did, because again, like I told you guys, I was so desperate to get out of this job that it didn't matter what I had to do. So I would go, I'd knock the doors. By the way, sometimes we'd even have a meeting in the morning for the sales reps that did not sell the day before. So even my mornings were filled up with sales and the gym and everything else. So as soon as I would get done, 9 o'clock, I'd go drop everybody off. I'd go grab some food. And at this time, my wife had gone back to the U.S. I was in Alabama at this time. She'd go back to Utah. And she did that because in case the baby came early, she was with her home doctor. So it was just me. So I would go, drop the team off, go and get usually Chipotle. Sometimes I would hit the gym if I hadn't earlier in the morning. And then I would shower, eat, and I would grab my laptop. Apologize for that, guys. I'd grab my laptop and I would sit on my stomach in the living room. I can still remember exactly what it felt like. I can remember the layout of the room. I can remember everything because I freaking was exhausted in that place, and it was like it was a lot, okay? And I would lay there on my stomach with my old laptop. It's like a 4-year-old laptop that was a little bit slow, a little bit clunky, and I was learning this model. I was watching videos on how to build a website. I was watching videos on how to do SEO. I was watching how do we pick a good city in a niche. So guys, I had bought a program at the time that I was studying, just like the one that I have, the Digital Landlords program that I offer. Something similar to that I had purchased, and I was going through it, and I was studying it, and I was trying to build every night from 9:30, 10 until I just couldn't anymore. I don't ever remember thinking, oh, it's 12, I should get some sleep. It was just, I would go until I was exhausted, okay? And I would do that every single day, apart from Sundays, okay? There wasn't any going out. It wasn't like I definitely wasn't going out Friday night because I was working all day Saturday, all freaking day Saturday. And guys, I did that every single day that summer. Every single day that entire summer, I did that with the exception of Sundays. And the result of that is before I actually finished that summer, I had my first 2 clients. I had a tow truck client. I had it's kind of a niche service called crawl space encapsulation. I had a crawl space encapsulation, kind of that same foundation repair vein. I had my first 2 clients. One of them was a flat fee deal. One of them was a paperly deal, not one that I would recommend, and that deal it went sideways. Nonetheless, before I even quit my 9 to 5, or before I even went home for the summer, I had my first 2 clients. And so what I want to tell you guys is that number 1, this is possible. Number 2 is that the reason I was able to do it is I treated the side hustle like the main hustle. So what I mean by that is, yes, I gave more hours to the main hustle, which was the door-to-door sales, because that was paying the money. That's the one that was, putting food on the table. I had to, right? However, in my mind, I was building my business, and I was putting all of my energy, my creativity. I'd be out there knocking on doors. Hey, no, I don't want an alarm system. Okay, no problem. Let me tell you about this. I see you have a business. Tell me about your business. In fact, funny enough, the second deal that I got, the crawl space encapsulation deal, I knocked on the person's door to sell them an alarm system, and it was a fake sign. They didn't even have a system. And I was like, oh, no problem, dude. I'm tired. It was like 8:30, and I was like, my last door. And I looked at his card, and I saw crawl space. I said, what is crawl space encapsulation? I said, I said, well, I'm kind of doing this thing on the side. Maybe I can help you guys out. I said, I get leads for local businesses. And of course, I only got 1 client. I get leads. I've got 1 client. Next thing you know, he's telling me about his business. He's like, dude, let me show you this. He shows me. He gets me into his crawl space. He goes, see how it's cool in here? It's all wrapped. Dude, it looked like I could have probably got murdered on that freaking scene. But by the end of it, he's like, let me call my partner real quick. He calls his partner. He's like, hey, I got this guy, blah, blah, blah. He's like, hey, I just talked to him. Let's go to lunch tomorrow. Texas Roadhouse, me, you, and my partner, Ben, at 1 o'clock, or probably earlier, probably 11 o'clock. Because I was like, well, I got to go knock doors. So there we went to the Texas Roadhouse. I didn't eat a thing. I came prepared. I ordered food, but I wasn't even thinking about food. I was thinking about getting this deal. I had everything laid out. I had some print-offs, all this different stuff. Here's what I can do for you, blah, 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 blah. And I went in, I pitched them. I said, give me $1,000 today, and I'll give you $100 per lead. Every single time a lead comes in, it's going to take me a few months to get this website ranked. And they looked at each other, and he's like, okay, deal. Shook my hand. We never wrote a contract. Don't recommend that. He wrote me a check right on the hood of his car, bought me lunch, and I walked away with my second deal. So I learned, guys, from that. Number 1, yes, you do have time, because I promise you, I didn't have time. Like, if you really look at it, that time, I made that time, right? I got rid of everything else. Number 2 is, if you want something enough, if the why is strong enough, and the why for me was I freaking hate my job. The why for me was I got to take care of my family. I got to freaking pay bills, and I can't keep dragging them out every summer to be a door knocker. I just can't. There's nothing against it, but I can't this is not a lifestyle for my family, okay? Those are my whys. And so even though I didn't have the energy, even though I didn't have the time, I freaking made it work. You do have time. You do have the energy. Guys, some of you guys have jobs where you're working at a gym where literally people scan their membership and you just sit there and twiddle your thumbs, okay? Some of you guys have jobs where you can get your work done in 2 hours and you're done. Some of you guys have jobs that are remote where you can literally pretend like you're working all day, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about because you do it, and then you jack around the rest of the time and waste your time doing who knows what, okay? There is time, you can do it. By the way, if you're sitting there waiting for the perfect time to do this, there is no perfect time. You're gonna be waiting forever. So guys, can you do this with a 9 to 5? 100%, yes you can. Let's get started today. I'll see you guys on the next video.